Once upon a time, we had a collaborative wiki for facilitating knowledge sharing. This was also used for international organization. We had plenty of courses on knowledge sharing, knowledge management in the toolkit.
A few years ago, the original website went offline and it looked like we might have lost it forever. Luckily, we recovered the copy from the Wayback Machine, but instead of just backing it up, so restoring it the old version, we decided to rethink it from the ground up. It's about rebooting a model for how we build, maintain, and grow knowledge together. It's possibly also an opportunity to offer an helpful practical case study on how we can collectively salvage knowledge resources. This is a topic that is sadly very relevant today, when many organizations are at the risk of losing important knowledge assets. The Sharing Toolkit 2.0. The new version is based on two very simple components. The first one is a static website, and the second one is a folder of shared Google documents. What you see here is the website, and it's extremely lightweight and easy to manage. There are just a couple of pages in it. At the top, basic navigation page, the home page, which lists all the content, so the methods, the tools, external resources. Then there is an about page, where it tells you a little bit about the history of the toolkit and the background, who's doing the work behind the scenes. There is a page with the artificial intelligence assistance, and then there are quick guides on how to contribute, and it's very easy. Finally, there is a frequently asked questions. The real value is in the Google documents underneath. So it's this combination that gives us something very powerful. You have a system that is both extremely collaborative and resilient. The methods and the tools and the external resources, they live in Google documents from A to Z. And then every method within it has its own Google document, and each article in the toolkit follows a standardized template. Anyone can edit the articles, send an email to the editorial board and let them know that you have made an edits on a page. And then there is a quality assurance process, no coding, no platform lock-in. And if the site ever goes offline again, it doesn't really matter, because the entire content of the toolkit lives in a Google Drive folder. If you use Google Workspace, you can add it to your own drive, or you can even download it completely. But the content is all there, it's portable, it's sustainable, it's open. And that's what makes this not just a resource for the community, but one by the community. There's another layer that we added to the toolkit, which is a lightweight use of artificial intelligence, but a way that is accessible to everyone. We used ChatGPT from OpenAI. We didn't write any code. We simply created custom GPTs with smart prompts. And the result is that you can now talk to the toolkit. You can ask questions in any language, and the GPT will help you to find the right method based on your challenge or context. It will go into the database of the toolkit. It's going to look into this page that lists all the methods. Each one of the methods that describes what the tool is about and who it is for. This is the information that the artificial intelligence uses to answer your question. A method finder will suggest up to 3 articles that it thinks are relevant to your question, or it will go online and find something that we don't have in our toolkit, but it exists online. Other type of artificial intelligence assistant, it's called the Reflections Partner, and it helps users reflect on their own experience with a method and turn that tacit knowledge into a short case study complete with lessons and tips. What I usually do is to talk to it. I don't actually write for up to 10 minutes. It will guide you with some leading questions just to make sure that it gets from you the information that is necessary for drafting the story. And then it will draft the story for you, and then you can just copy paste in an email and send it to the editorial. It allows you to really turn knowledge that is in your mind into a nicely written case study. And why does this matter? Because it lowers the barrier to contribution. You don't have to start from a blank page. You don't even have to be confident in your writing. The GPTs act like a coach. It helps you organize your thoughts, capture your knowledge in a way that it's clear, usable, and easy to share. This page is always going to be in English, but the single articles, you can translate them to other languages. And if you need to find something and you're not familiar with English, you can use the methods finder and it will help you. So you can see the new toolkit is not just more accessible accessible. It's also more dynamic. It's more aligned with how people work and think today. It changes from the old toolkit. There is a governance document, there is a traffic light system, and we rotate every 6 months. So if you're passionate about knowledge management and community-led knowledge systems, you can become a member of the editorial board. And the contest, it was a 3-month community initiative to put the new version to test. We wanted it to be shaped by the actual users, and this was our way of making that happen, to collaborate, to test it together. Designed to be low barrier, so anyone could participate regardless of time, tech skills, or experience. There were several ways to contribute, but I do want to spotlight 2 that have had the most lasting impact. The first one is sharing stories and lessons learned. One of the toolkit's most distinctive features. It's not just about methods that are abstract, it's about how those methods are used in actual development in humanitarian settings. It creates connections and it creates trust. And so that kind of contribution is invaluable. And second, people could join the editorial board. At the time of the contest, the board didn't exist yet. This was part of the experiment. We knew that if we wanted the toolkit to be dynamic and collaborative over time, we would need a governance model to match. So the editorial board ensures the quality of the submissions, it guides the direction of the roadmap of the toolkit, and above all, it distributes the ownership of this collectively owned resource. One of the most valuable things that came out of the contest was the emergence of a real community within the community. We had over 40 people joining our D group space. We also hosted bi-weekly toolkit clinics with this group, informal drop-in sessions where people could ask questions, provide feedback, and reflect on their experience using the toolkit. And that feedback for us was golden because it did help us improve the contributor journey in real time. And this community is still important. A sounding board, if you wish, or our ideas lab, a place to keep the spirit of co-creation alive even outside of the formal campaigns. One of the numbers, we got something deeper, the confirmation that the model is working. People understood how to contribute, they felt it was worth their time. So we know time and motivation vary, so some people might write entire methods, others will just fix a sentence. Everything is welcome. When you contribute something to this community, KM4Dev, you know it won't just sit in a drawer. It gets taken up, it gets used, it gets improved, and it gets credited. So this is a live system. It only works because people like you step in. So jump in, even a small contribution makes a huge difference, and the editorial board is here to help you. The natural target audience for this kind of toolkit is, of course, development practitioners, knowledge management specialists, facilitators, trainers, whoever needs to facilitate knowledge sharing in practice in the context of international development, humanitarian aid. Also monitor and evaluation and learning officers, community managers, network builders. We want to further promote the toolkit. If I know, if I work in an international development organization and I can see how other international development organizations are using knowledge sharing methods, that probably resonates with me more than if I just read a manual that is aseptic without that context.
Feel free to really reach out. The email address of the editorial board. It is important to let others know that the KS Toolkit exists. Please share widely now that you have seen what the KS Toolkit can offer, how you can contribute. Tell the others and make a little demo yourself.
And don't forget, the journey has started. There is so much to do. We have an ideas log in the editorial board with so many things we should be doing. So we have a lot of work to do, and we do welcome your help. Thank you, everybody.